I will call to order the meeting of Labor and Commerce. Make sure everyone have a chance to be seated. I believe we have a quorum, but let's prove it by marking your presence on your voting machines. We have a quorum. That there are only 3 meetings of this committee after today, only 3. So if you have bills, be very careful. Remember what we said about passing your bills on. If you cannot present it at that time, we're going to leave it or pass it over into subcommittee 4. So try to complete all your work. Okay? Now, a couple of administrative issues I need to make you aware of. We're going to re-refer House Bill 2438, Delegate Munden King's bill to counties, cities, and towns. We're going to re-refer House Bill 2284, Delegate Corner's bill to courts. And then we're going to strike at the request of the patron House Bill 1875, Delegate Blossom. And then we're going to strike at the request of the patron House Bill 2697, Delegate Martinez.
We have to vote on the strikes. They are
individually.
They are recorded.
Okay.
Yes,
the strikes are recorded votes, so we're going back to House Bill 1875 by Delegate Blossom, and he would like to strike his bill.
Madam Chair, do you need a motion on all the above referenced actions?
Yes.
I move. Yes, I think parliamentarian Corey, can we put them in a block?
2 strikes I can, because it's the same motion.
Okay.
So just a minute, I'll have to clear and restart.
I didn't get the
That's fine.
All right, I'll state the motion. Madam Chair, I move that we strike HB 1875 and HB 2697.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Are we ready to cast our votes?
And then, sorry, go ahead.
The clerk should close the roll. The measure passed 19-0.
And Madam Chair, I move that we re-refer HB 2284 to courts of justice and re-refer HB 2438 to counties, cities, and towns.
And it's just a voice vote.
And that's a voice vote. All in favor? Oh, just a minute. We need a second. Okay, now it's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion passed. Thank you so much. And now we're quickly moving on to our subcommittee report, Subcommittee 2, Chair Lopez.
Thank you, ma'am. The first bill was HB 1667 from Delegate Jones. Board for Barbers and Cosmetology Employment Prohibition Exceptions, children 16 years of age or older. It allows children 16 years of age or older to serve in a licensed barbershop of cosmetology salon, provided that 1, the child is an apprentice, 2, the child is participating in a work training program in accordance with relevant regulations, or 3, the child has obtained a cosmetology or barber license from the Board for Barbers and Cosmetology. The subcommittee recommended reporting with amendments by a vote of 7-0. The amendment corrected a cross-reference in subdivision 4B, and I so move.
Thank you. Is there anyone on the committee who has any questions?
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we report the bill. With amendment? Okay. We changed that once again. with amendment?
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
say that? Okay. Ready to cast your votes. The clerk may close the roll. The measure passes 19-0.
Thank you, ma'am. At your request and the request of the patron, HB 1725 from Delegate Delaney, we would like to take that just by for 1 week to go to full committee. Then the next bill, HB 1766, Delegate Martinez, unemployment compensation increase weekly benefit amounts report. For unemployment compensation claims effective on or after January 1st of 2026, an eligible individual's weekly benefit amount shall be $100 higher than the current weekly benefit amount. The bill directs the Commission on Employment Compensation in consultation with the Virginia Employment Commission to convene a work group to study making annual adjustments to individual weekly benefit amounts based on the average weekly wage. This bill is a recommendation of the Commission on Unemployment Compensation. Subcommittee recommended reporting and referring to appropriations by a vote of 5-2, and I so move.
Okay. Thank you. Oh,
System's messing up.
just a moment. You still have to come back. Just a minute. Report and refer?
Sorry, Chair. It's up.
Go back one day. I'll go back after this one.
1766 is up.
You don't have to.
It will.
Okay. The subcommittee recommends reporting and referring to appropriations. So are we ready to cast our votes on this? The clerk shall close the roll. This measure passes 11-8.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam Chair. HB 1767, Delegate Martinez, regarding unemployment benefits maximum duration. This provides that beginning July 1st, 2025, for claims effective on or after July 1st, 2025, an eligible individual's weekly unemployment compensation benefit amount shall be paid for a maximum duration of 26 weeks. Subcommittee recommended reporting and referring to appropriations by vote of 5-2, and I so move.
Any questions?
Yeah.
Anyone?
I have
Yes.
a question.
Yes.
I have a question. What is it now? What's the duration? now?
It's between 14 and 26 weeks, depends on the situation with, at the time.
Okay.
Any other questions? Any other comments? You ready for the motion?
And I so move.
Properly moved and seconded that if this bill should pass, it will be sent to appropriations. Ready to cast your votes? The clerk shall close the roll. Bill passes 12-7. It will report and be referred to appropriations. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next bill is HB 1933 from Delegate LeVere Bowling regarding workers' compensation and throat cancer. The bill provides that for the purposes of the workers' compensation presumption as to death or disability from certain types of cancer, throat cancer includes cancer that forms in the tissues of the pharynx, larynx, adenoid, tonsil, esophagus, trachea, nasopharynx, or oropharynx, or hypopharynx. The subcommittee recommended reporting and referring to appropriations by a vote of 7-0, and I so move.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is any question, any comments from anyone on the committee? Thank you. It's been properly moved and seconded that we report the bill, and should it pass, we will refer it to appropriations. Ready to vote? The clerk shall close the roll. The bill passes 19-0. It will be referred to appropriations.
Thank you, Madam Chair. HB 1951 from Delegate Waxman was regarding workers' compensation, post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety disorder, or depressive disorder regarding dispatchers. The patron requested that we strike the bill from the docket, and I'd like to make that motion.
Been properly moved and seconded that we strike the bill from the docket. You gotta vote on it.
Okay, that's one. Yeah, 1951.
The clerk shall close the roll. The bill has been stricken from the docket.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The final bill from Subcommittee 2 this week is HB 2060 from Delegate Krizik. It's regarding workers' compensation benefits, post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety disorder, or depressive disorder incurred by law enforcement officers and firefighters. The bill would have increased from 52 weeks to 104 weeks, the maximum duration after the date of diagnosis that workers' compensation benefits are payable for anxiety disorder or depressive disorder incurred by law enforcement officers and firefighters acting in the line of duty. The bill also increases from 52 weeks to 500 weeks, the maximum duration after the date of diagnosis that workers' compensation benefits are payable for post-traumatic stress disorder incurred by law enforcement officers and firefighters acting in the line of duty. Madam Chair, the subcommittee recommended reporting and referring to appropriations by a vote of 7-0, and I so move.
Been properly moved and seconded. Before we vote, I want to give the committee a chance to ask any questions they may have. Okay, are we ready to vote? The clerk should close the roll. The bill passes 18-1, and it will be referred to appropriations. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That completes the Subcommittee 2 report for this week.
Thank you so much, Chair Lopez. Now we'll move to Subcommittee 3. Eric Sullivan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Subcommittee 3 met last week, dealt with a number of bills. The first on the docket today, at least, is HB 1779, which is my bill, which adds fusion energy to the list of generation sources that qualify as carbon-free energy or clean energy. The subcommittee recommended reporting 10-0, and I so move.
Second. Been properly moved and seconded. Anyone from the committee have any questions? Are we ready to cast our votes? The clerk shall close the roll. The bill passes 21-0. Next bill?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next is HB 1935 from Delegate LaVere Bowling, which directs the Department of Housing and Community Development to establish, in collaboration with the Department of Energy and with assistance from the Department of Social Services, the Income Qualified Energy Efficiency and Weatherization Task Force to evaluate ways to coordinate government and utility services and resources to more effectively deliver energy-efficient housing, weatherization resources, and energy efficiency upgrades for low-income individuals and households in the Commonwealth residing in small and large multifamily buildings, single-family dwellings, and manufactured homes. The bill requires the task force to meet at least 6 times between July 1, 2025 and September 30, 2026, and to submit a report no later than October 30, 2026 with policy recommendations and a plan to ensure that weatherization-ready repairs and whole-home energy efficiency retrofits are provided to all eligible low-income individuals and households in the Commonwealth residing in small and large multifamily buildings, single-family dwellings, and manufactured homes by December 31, 2023. There was an amendment, Madam Chair, which added 2 representatives to the task force and made one other technical correction. And with that amendment, the subcommittee recommends reporting 8-2. And I so move.
Properly moved and seconded. Anyone on the committee have any questions? The recommendation has been to report with amendments. Just a moment.
It's going to be amendments.
Just a second, we might need this to be a substitute instead of an amendment to correct a formatting.
Okay. We'll be at ease just for a second.
Yes, so reconsider the motion.
We haven't voted yet on it. We haven't voted as a body.
Okay, but so, Madam Chair, I understand there is a substitute bill that the delegate has asked us to adopt here in the full committee. So I move that substitute.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Now, we have a motion to report the bill and the substitute. We had a motion. Ready to cast your votes? Delegate Sullivan? Oh, I'm sorry. We can close the roll.
It's 15 to 6.
15 to 6, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next on the list from Subcommittee 3 is HB 2003 from Delegate Laufer, which requires that each incumbent electric utility that's a member of or has established a regional transmission entity for purposes of management and control of its transmission system as required under current law to submit an annual report by February 1 of each year. That report shall include all recorded votes cast by the utility during the immediately preceding calendar year, all votes cast by an affiliate of the utility, and a brief description explaining how each vote cast by the utility or its affiliates is in the public interest. The subcommittee recommended reporting 5-4, and I so move.
Thank you. Properly moved and seconded. Any questions from any member of the committee? Are we ready to cast our votes? The clerk shall close the roll. The bill passes 11 to 10.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next, from Subcommittee 3 is HB 2084 from Delegate Shin. This bill directs the State Corporation Commission to conduct a regulatory proceeding to ensure that public utilities are using rates, tolls, charges, or schedules that contain reasonable classifications of utility customers by July 1, 2026. The bill requires that for Dominion Energy Virginia and Appalachian Power Company, such reasonable classifications of customers shall include a separate classification for data centers. The bill specifies that the Commission shall establish criteria and notice and hearing requirements for such proceeding no later than January 1, 2026.
Mr. Chair, or I'm sorry, Madam Chair, or Mr. Sub-Chair. Madam Chair, the Sub-3 chairman was kind enough to let me continue to work through this bill out of the sub and keep it moving. And I'm wondering if it'd be possible to take this bill by for the days that we might hear it on Thursday and buy myself a little bit more time to get the bill into its final posture before it comes before the consideration of this full committee.
Until Thursday?
By for the day until the
Right,
next report.
okay, all right. That'll be fine. Thank you. It's by for the day.
Can I make that motion to take it by? Is a motion necessary? No? Okay, cool. Thank you.
I cannot hear her well. I can't hear her well. She just wants us to go back. Motion. It's approved. You can carry it back for the day. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Back for the day. Next meeting.
Next, Madam Chair, is HB 2113 from Delegate Herring, which establishes the Solar Interconnection Grant Fund and Program for the purpose of awarding grants on a competitive basis to public bodies to offset such costs associated with the interconnection of solar facilities to the grid. The program is administered by the Division of Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency of the Department of Energy. The bill requires that priority be given to solar facilities located on previously developed project sites, and the bill requires the division to establish and publish guidelines and criteria for the awarding of grants and general requirements of the program. The provisions of the bill expire on July 1, 2030. The subcommittee recommended reporting and referring to appropriations by 7 to 3, and I so move.
Second. Properly moved and seconded. Before we vote, is there any question from anyone on the committee? Are we ready to cast our votes then? The clerk shall close the roll. The bill passes 12 to, oh, just a moment. Oh, just 7. 13. Okay. The bill reports and will be referred to appropriations.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
having voted on the prevailing side in which we passed HB 2003, Electric Utilities Regional Transmission Entities Annual Report, I ask that we reconsider the vote and speaking to that motion, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Madam Chair, my understanding is what we passed out was not amended, and I believe the patron did have amendments to offer this committee. Just like last year, I expressed concern that it was directed toward one provider and not providing for disclosure for all. And I would like the opportunity for the patron to at least come to the committee and explain the amendments that she had, because I think it may actually improve the legislation. And I did, Madam Chair, text her, but I know that we can't stall things. So if it's okay, well, I think I have a motion on the floor, so we'll vote on the motion to reconsider.
Motion to reconsider. Oh. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And Madam Chair, if that can go by for the day, I asked her to come back down, but she probably has not seen my text.
Okay, all right. Bye for the day. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Is that? Okay, we'll go at ease. There's 3.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I have a motion.
proceed.
Madam Chair, having voted on the prevailing side by which we struck HB 1875, I move that we reconsider that vote.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
It's back in committee.
The bill is back in committee.
Madam Chair, I have another motion
Yes.
that we
Mr.
take
Chair.
1875 by for the day.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Bill is back for the day. That completes the business.
Madam Chair, I have another motion.
Yes.
I move at the request of the patron that we strike HB 2552 from the docket.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor?
I'm doing it.
Just a moment, it's recorded vote.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
You can still say nay.
It's there.
All right, now we can vote. The clerk shall close the roll. The measure,
Showing, Madam Clerk,
Okay.
I'm showing it as Bloxamville on my screen.
it is. It is.
Okay,
Okay, but they're both Bloxamvilles.
it's passed.
Yes.
10-4. Thank you for, thank you.
It's done.
It's done now. Does that complete your report, Mr. Chair?
Yes, Madam Chair, it does.
Then, let me check, make sure. It's been a different committee here. The business of this committee has completed its business for today. The committee shall rise. Subcommittees, next.
Number 1.
Subcommittee 1. I didn't even see.